So I wanted to talk this week a little bit about some of the frequently asked questions. And one of the questions that I'm asked time and time again is, what's your favourite surface to draw on? And it would have to be, every single time, Clairfontaine Pastelmat. It's the most wonderful surface. It's absolutely brilliant to draw on. And I would say if I was only allowed to draw on one surface for the rest of my life, it would be on this one. It's made from cellulose fibres. It's an abrasive paper rather than a sandpaper. Many people confuse Pastelmat and call it a sanded paper. It's not. It comes in a range of pads. So we've got the pads here. They call them numbers. They have them numbered. You've got pads that have got sort of different colours in them. You've got pads that are just a single colour. So this one, the number 3, is just all white. The number 6 is all of the anthracite. And then you've got the other 1, 2, 4 and 5, which are sort of like a combination of the different colours. The pads come, I think, in 2 sizes, so sort of like A4-ish and A3-ish, and are readily available. They come also with like a glassine insert in front of every single sheet, which I think is really, really nice because you can use that to rest your hand on, which I think is brilliant. And then this one here, this shows you, they have brought some different colours in, but this is kind of, I don't know whether they're already available yet, but these ones are the ones that were, mostly available. They're all really lovely colours. My preference is to work on white and the dark grey, so I tend to use these 2 colours the majority of the time. I'm not a huge fan of the darker colours, the burgundy, the dark green, the dark blue. I really like the anthracite, but that one tends to have most of, if there's going to be a quality issue, the anthracite, that's the one that has the most issues, I think. I've also used sand quite a bit, and the brown, but my preference is the white most of the time, and the dark grey as well. It comes in paper or board. So the Pastelmat paper is sort of like a 360 gram. It's on sort of like, if you turn it over, it's got like a bit of a shiny card back to it. The Pastelmat board is actually attached to a 1.8 millimeter board. Now, it can be incredibly difficult to work out which side is which. Sometimes, because the Pastelmat board does tend to be smoother than its sort of paper counterpart. I don't know why. There isn't really any rhyme or reason to it. I have no idea why it happens, but it does tend to be smoother, and I do tend to use the board more often than not. So like I said, I use Pastelmat all of the time. There's a couple of examples of my work here and why I've chosen the particular colour for these particular pieces. I love white on white. I think white on white works beautifully, really, really nicely. And I think for wildlife pieces, the dark grey works really nicely, especially if you want to do something a little bit quicker. This was sort of quite a quick piece. And then we come on to my favourite pencils. Now, I love all my pencils, but I have to say I do think that the Faber-Castell Polychromos are the ones that I couldn't live without. So this is the 120 tin. Now, when I open it up, you're going to be really disappointed because actually it's got loads of them that are missing. That's because they're all sat in my pots and everything. What I love about the Faber-Castell Polychromos is that you've got a really, really, really great range of colours, a really great range of colours. They're mostly light fast. They're really well made. They keep a really good sharp point. And they're just a really great pencil. Really, I think the Polychromos have the best range of greys. There's an awful lot of the greys missing here, but you have, I think, 14 different greys in the Polychromos range, which is fantastic. You've got all of the warm greys, you've got all of the cool greys, and then you have the Payne's grey, and you have the dark sepia on the top of that as well, which when you're drawing animals is brilliant to have all of those different greys. It just really, really helps. You've got those the gold, silver and bronze there as well, which I don't usually use. But yeah, they're a really great pencil. They're claimed as being more oil based, but to be honest, every pencil is made with oil, wax, lipids, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to say that they are an oil based pencil. They're just a hard, dry pencil. Great for details, great for layering. I use them on all the different kind of paper types, and they're just a really, really super pencil. Okay, so on to my favourite eraser. Again, it's a Faber-Castell, and it has to be the little kneadable eraser. They come in these little clear boxes, which is great because it means that if you keep them in the little clear box, it stops them from drying out, and it also stops your dogs from eating them. You can buy them on Amazon under a subscription. So every sort of, I think 6 weeks, I get sent 4 new ones, which is great. It's a really soft eraser. And it's brilliant for use on any surface, and I use it as a tool to help create highlights and soften and blend and all of that kind of thing. And it's one of the things that I use all of the time in my work. Is just the most fantastic little eraser. I would highly recommend anybody getting one of these little kneadable erasers, even if you use it as like a, you know, a stress tool, and you can make it into some kind of a sculpture or something. But it's my favorite tool, I think, to use with my coloured pencils. It's absolutely brilliant. Lifts off the pigment really nicely, works with the polychromos really nicely, and works on the Pastelmat incredibly. So definitely recommend this one. And then finally, my favourite pencil sharpener. This is the Swordfish Multipoint. Quite frankly, it's absolutely brilliant for a lazy artist like me, literally leaning over, shoving your pencil in the hole, and within seconds it's sharp. I mean, you know, you don't want any more than that from a pencil sharpener. I love this. I absolutely love this. I wouldn't be without it. I have a little handheld one as well, but this is by far my favourite pencil sharpener. I just love it.